I'm the Lid.
I'm Dr. John.
And here's another episode of
Enuff Already.
Tonight we're going to talk about Kababble and Trump and the debate that happened last Tuesday night.
Special 3-minute rant.
Absolutely, you're going to love it.
And some other stuff.
Let's hear it.
Let's have it. Hey, a piece of black tape. Yeah, put a little black tape on her, make her Hitler. Wish I had a piece.
All right, so if you watch the debate, you kind of realize that it was a 3-on-1 gang initiation into the Democrat Party, but Trump didn't want to be initiated, apparently.
I don't know, it was crazy. Crazy.
It was pretty horrible. But one of the things I found interesting was they were talking about Trump's. She tried to say that there's going to be a 25% sales tax on everything, and that's absolutely bullshit. And then she wanted to rag on Trump about his tariffs, but ironically, the Biden administration kept a lot of Trump's tariffs.
They didn't cut the tariffs.
Right.
They left them because they were making so much money.
Right, exactly right. But she don't want to, she doesn't want to give Trump credit for that. So they got to make it out to be a 25% sales tax that we passed.
Well, and that was like the insulin thing and the drug thing where they said, oh, we reduced it to $35.
Right.
Trump had already done that. They got rid of it and they put it back in like they did it.
Well, kind of like they did the jobs. They got rid of all the jobs for COVID. And then everybody went back to work and they're like, oh, we created all these jobs.
Yeah,
when
right.
When in reality, we're just going back to work when the Democrat Party shut us all down for COVID.
And then 818,000 jobs that magically were created that weren't created.
Right. Oh, Lord. Well, you're going to find out there's been a lot of things with the Biden administration that supposedly happened that absolutely didn't happen.
And then you see this.
Yeah.
The magical earring hearing piece.
And on the other end of that earpiece was Barry himself, Barack Obama.
Well, I don't know if it was Obama, but it was somebody.
Totally Obama. But Trump was fact-checked on everything, and if they would have truly fact-checked him, they'd have realized that he was absolutely correct. Let's take the abortion issue, for example. There's literally 8 states that have unrestricted abortions where you can have 8 of them. Where you can abort the baby up to you can be dilated and the baby can be aborted. But Lindsay lip injection shut that down and argued. That was his other opponent in the debate was ABC news correspondents. But
we knew when ABC was doing it.
Right. Well, everybody knew
that it was going to be, the gangsters trying to intimidate Trump and make him look like a fool and try to make him look like he's a liar.
And it still didn't work, John. I'm not the only one. If you look at the polls, absolutely moved nowhere. Trump's still ahead.
Yeah.
There's some other things too that happened on there. For example, the January 6th, where Kababble was saying that there was officers killed that day.
No officers were killed in the erection.
Not one. The only person killed that day was Ashley Babbitt, a 12-year Air Force veteran, was shot point blank range.
She should not have been killed.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She was unarmed. She was a 90-pound woman, for crying out loud. So that's just one of the many lies that was completely overlooked and not confronted by the ABC correspondents, like the Fine People hoax.
And think about this. Okay, right away she jumped into Charlottesville.
Right.
And, you're white supremacists. You said those were, you were backing the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists. And what did he say?
He said that they should all be condemned.
That's what he said, didn't he? He said, I condemn those people. But he said there's good people on both sides, which meaning both sides of the argument, but not the neo-Nazis, not the white supremacists. That's been debunked so many times.
Exactly.
It's not even funny.
Exactly right. And she went on to the bloodbath comment, which was taken out of context. I mean, these were all easily debunked things that's happened that were said by Kababble that nobody, Trump was actually speaking the truth, and they were basically calling him a liar. Meanwhile, Camilla was over there lying her ass off. And they never stopped her one time.
And David Mirror, he thinks he's so cool.
Yeah, he's got nice hair.
And he's got real nice hair, but he thinks he's so cool and he talks like this. Then you see him on a talk show, and he's a babbling, giggling idiot.
Right. I think what was most disturbing about it was when they were trying to corner Trump in on the Ukraine-Russia war about, do you want Russia to win the war?
And you know what he said? I want to save lives.
Yep. People are dying on both sides.
I want to save lives. And then right away, Poland's going to get attacked next. Bullshit.
Right. Well, listen, all this Ukraine-Russia thing was caused by NATO anyway. They've slowly gotten NATO closer and closer to Russia's borders, and that's what Vladimir's got a problem with.
No, this Ukraine thing was done in order to launder money.
Right.
And shoot it back to our politicians that are corrupt. And it's a big bullshit scam because they're laundering money. They're giving billions and billions and billions and billions and tons of that money is coming back to these people. How the hell do you think they get to be millionaires when they're making 175 to 200,000 a year?
Right.
That's,
but somehow they do. They got that money from somewhere.
Think about it, people. I mean, and a lot of these billions of dollars, they can't locate where they went. They don't have any clue. But you got to put down every penny of your tax dollar or your money you made to the IRS. They want to know every penny, but yet they can lose billions in Ukraine. So we don't know what happened to it.
Well, the Pentagon itself loses trillions of dollars.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about Ukraine.
Right.
And that war is part of a cover. Like, well, we'll create a war, and we can ship more money over there. Exactly. We can collect more money.
Exactly.
It's bullshit.
And I said it the night John and I watched the debate together. I said it right off the rip that Camilla knew exactly what the questions were before they were answered. She was shaking her head as if she knew what they were going to say, and because she did know what they were going to say. We've seen this lady the last 3.5 years. She cannot speak off the cuff whatsoever. At any time has she ever said anything prolific.
If she didn't know what the question was, she'd have been cackling on her answers because she wouldn't know how to answer them. That's the truth. Because she'd have broke out to the because that's what she does when she doesn't know how to answer a question.
But every answer she gave was canned and prepared, like she had practiced it 100 times. And now it's coming out that ABC had given her some sample questions ahead of time, which turned out to be the actual questions that they had
Except for the Afghanistan thing. Did you see the look on her face?
Well, but she wasn't staring at
You didn't tell me about Afghanistan.
And she didn't know how to answer it, but she said she was the last one in the room with Biden when he made the decision to pull out of there, and she supported it. But one thing I did notice about that debate is she could not take her eyes off of Donald Trump. She was in total awe of that man. She really was. I think she secretly loves it.
That woman, I'm telling you, the way she stood there, shook her head and made her eyes and carried on and did her thing. I'm like, look at her.
Right.
And she thinks
Very
she
smart.
is better than everybody else in this room. And she couldn't carry my freaking jockstrap.
Exactly. She's very arrogant, very smug. She came across just like that.
And that's who we want to be leader of our country.
Well, we don't, but there are people that do. And she thinks everybody's stupid. She thinks that what we watched Tuesday night was legitimately a good debate. And there wasn't no debate whatsoever. It was just a sneak attack on President Trump is all it was.
Yeah, well, he handled his cool pretty good about it, but
still.
And my best thing was, excuse me, but I'm speaking now. He stole her line because she was baiting him so bad and attacking him so bad and saying she wanted him to butt in and he wouldn't, and she butted in on him. He goes, excuse me, I'm speaking, and I went, yes.
That was her line. He stole her line. Well, enough already on that. Let's talk a few things here. Let's talk about the Republican rhinos that are now coming out to support Camilla. You got
Mitt Romney,
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney. Screw you, Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Halliburton scoundrel. You made billions of dollars in Iraq, rebuilding it after you blew it up with your company, and now you want me to back you? No way.
So did Joe Biden's brother, by the way.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just saying that Halliburton got all the contracts.
But 6 months ago, Dick Cheney was the devil on the left. They hated his guts.
Now they love him.
Yeah, now they're all in a hot tub together.
Yeah, so, Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney.
Yeah, Liz Cheney was a rhino.
Well, because she's got Dick Cheney for a father.
We knew she was there's something up with her with the whole January 6th committee thing. Absolutely, they were just ridiculous. That whole Gen 6 committee thing was just off the hook stupid.
So,
Anyway.
we got to do our 3-minute rant. It's kind of a special one. But let me set the timer. What's the 3-minute rant tonight, Ed? Oh, God, what's that picture?
Well, that's a pussycat, John. Tonight's 3-minute rant's a special night. We're going to talk about Bubba Creole's famous cat recipe.
Buford Benjamin Blue himself.
That's the man, and here he goes. You know, just like Bubba
Famous
said.
cat recipes.
Yeah, you're going to love this.
Oh, my God.
You guys ready? Get your pen. Excuse me. Get your pen.
Might want to write these recipes down, people.
You can Google them later. Okay, but just like Bubba said, cat is a fruit of Ohio.
Fruit of Ohio.
That's right. You can barbecue it, boil it, broil it, bake it, and saute it.
Really? You got cat gumbo, pan-fried cat, stir-fried cat, there's pineapple cat, lemon cat, coconut cat, and pepper cat.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. On top of that, you got cat soup, cat stew, cat salad, cat and potatoes.
Really? You got cat burgers, cat sandwich, you got cat on a Barbie, cat on a stick. And we ain't worried about that because we ain't done yet.
We still got more recipes.
Keep on going.
You can slow cook a kitty in a slow cooker with some potatoes and carrots.
You got cat fricassee and you got cat cacciatore.
Cat casserole, cat spaghetti.
You got cat in a bag, which is an Irish recipe where they stuff it in a scrotum of a sheep and they cook it.
Oh. All right, enough already. That's enough cat recipes.
And that's all the cat recipes we got for our rant
That's going out
tonight.
to Springfield, Ohio, and Canton apparently, because apparently they're eating cat there too. But,
all right.
All right, let's
Poor
go.
little kitty.
I know that.
Well, let's leave him up there. We like him.
All right, we'll sleep him up there. He looks mad as hell. He should be.
That's got somebody trying to eat him.
You know, ironically, my neighbor was looking for her cat the other day. I hope he just didn't have somebody in transit drive by. Ooh, that looks good. Anyway, let's go back to talking about stupid politicians and stuff of that nature, current events. I think it's funny that it's coming out that they find out that she did indeed cheat at the debate.
The what?
She did it. There was some hijinks going on during the debate.
Oh.
And ABC's paying a price for it. The majority of Americans were not happy
Well,
with
they're kind of finding out that a lot of this stuff was set up.
Right, exactly.
It was rigged.
Exactly.
Kind of like our election was.
Right. Well, I was just reading the story, and I was watching a story here a little bit ago, how they've had a bunch of ballots from Georgia that's just come up missing, gone from the 2020 election. Like 500,000.
Yeah, 500,000 ballots.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't think they even existed.
Right.
500,000 ballots that were counted and didn't exist.
And yet 105% of the population of Michigan come out and vote for that.
Well, you know, and what are they going to do this election? Because we got to figure it out ahead of time to what they're going to do to try and cheat.
Right.
Because they know that the things they did, we're going to be watching, so they got to have a new plan.
Right.
And we got to be aware of it so that we can scope that out and stop it.
Maybe we should talk about that next Friday. Exactly what we think they're going to do.
Well, we could. People want to know.
We can't really do the stuff in the ballot boxes anymore because after movies like 2,000 Mules and stuff like that, there's going to be patriots watching those boxes. You know, people aren't going to let that happen.
And again, I want to add to this, our Supreme Court justices in Ohio, Judge Shanahan, Judge Hawkins, and Judge Dieters, Republican. We got to vote them in. It's very crucial, unless you want another California.
And Bernie Moreno as senator. You don't want another. You don't even want Sherrod Brown in there a minute longer than he's been in there already.
He's been there long enough. Sherrod, you're done.
We definitely need some new ideas there.
Maybe we'll see if Sherrod come be on our podcast so we can tear him apart.
That'd be great. I'd love it. We'd have a bottle of wine.
One shot of bourbon, his hair be all a mess. He'd be babbling around.
I don't think he'd come on our podcast.
Come on, Sherrod, we'll invite you.
I dare you. But I mean, we'll treat you right. We're not going to be rude to you or anything, but you're going to have real questions.
Yeah.
And you better have real answers. You're not gonna, because you don't. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh.
Bernie Moreno, Hawkins, Shanahan,
DHS. Vote DHS on the Supreme Court justices. If you can't remember anything. DHS.
We need to keep that as conservative as possible.
We got to keep pumping that every week so people new see that and know.
I still don't understand how this whole immigrant thing's blowing up in the state of Ohio.
You know that it's a thing called TPS. Did you read that?
I did not.
It's a, God, I just read that. I can't remember this, John. What the hell's that called? TPS. It's a protection thing.
Oh,
And
they get, oh yeah, it's a temporary
protection
yeah, I heard something.
okay.
Like
And I feel bad 'cause I should know this, but anyhow, it's a temporary protection thing.
They grant some
And they
special
filed for
privileges.
this, they brought them over here if they filed for that because they're being terrorized in their country. And you know what, I know there's a lot of people who are under stress where they live and it's good that they can come here, have a good life. But they're not vetting them all out and checking to see who's coming. They're letting everybody come in under this TPS. They're
Well, if you
giving
come to America, you should assimilate into the American culture and the American lifestyle.
gives them rights to work and all this stuff.
You shouldn't be
But-
eating cats.
But they're letting them get driver's license. They don't know the driving laws.
Oh, my Lord.
They're overwhelming the schools. They're overwhelming the healthcare system because it's fine, but you just can't overload a city with 20,000 people in a couple of years and say, here you go. Now, DeWine's sending a bunch of money down to help with this.
I was reading a story where car insurance has gone up 50%.
Car insurance went way up because of
in
accidents.
Springfield. Yeah, right, because it's a high accident area because of the Asian immigrants.
And here's another thing that's happening. Okay, they can't find any places to rent because they're putting 10 or 12 people in a freaking house. Okay,
Right.
and the government's sponsoring to pay for this, so the landlords have raised the rent so high because they're getting government money
Right.
that nobody can afford to rent a place in Springfield because the government's paying outrageous rent fees so they can put 10 people in a house, and people that live there can't afford to get a place to live because anytime the federal government gets involved and backs things, the price of everything goes up.
Exactly. Well, it's just money laundering. It's
More money laundering.
more tax money in the pockets of bureaucrats is basically what it boils down to. But at the expense of the American taxpayer, and they don't care.
Yeah, because we're paying for it in the long run.
Every day we're paying for it.
They're just taking more tax dollars, wasting them.
But this is going to be an ongoing issue if we don't change our leadership.
They've
in this
also
country.
shipped these people to Findlay, Lima,
Mansfield.
overloading these cities with these migrants. You know, let's not do this. You know, we can't send 10,000, 20,000 and just bam, the system can't handle it.
And you have temporary job agencies that are catering to these people because they get extra money.
And
most
the
likely.
reason we're getting all these Haitians is because DeWine's involved with Haiti. Our
Right,
governor of
right.
Ohio is involved with Haiti.
I don't doubt
What do you
that.
say? We say you got like $292 million from the federal government, Scott? Was that what it was?
$292 million.
Two-
Something like that.
$292 million. Okay.
And you know what
So
else?
where'd all that money go?
I bet he eats cats, probably.
DeWine?
Yeah.
Eat some cat fricassee.
Kind of likes a cat casserole.
Cat cacciatore.
That's one of the
But
worst.
DeWine's a
That's one
rhino.
of the
I
most
didn't want
screwed
that guy for governor.
Me neither, but what do we have to choose from?
Nothing.
I mean, and that was the idea. You know, you had this moron or that moron.
My biggest problem with our politicians is I don't give a shit which side you're looking at. They don't give us any good choices really on
Right.
either side. They give us everybody that's on the take.
Well, I honestly think Jim
Republican
Renacci.
and Democrat side.
I think Jim Renacci's given Mike DeWine the last two elections to be
Renacci.
careful, because I think he's on the take just
And
like
then
the
the
rest of them.
cowboy jumped in just to disturb things.
Well, the Cowboy's in jail now.
Yeah, well,
Maybe he was right though. You know what I mean? I mean, they sure did attack him. Both sides attack him. You know what I mean? And they went after him with everything.
maybe that's what happened because they didn't want somebody like it in there because he was on. Maybe he was honest and they found out he was and they didn't want him in there, so they put him in jail.
Or he just.
Well, that's what they do to their political rivals.
I'm not saying
try to
he-
put him in jail.
Right. I'm not saying he was honest or anything. I'm just saying he wasn't part of their club. You
No.
know, he wasn't part of their group, so they just can't have that.
Will you come see me in jail when I win the Senate?
Damn right.
Because they'll damn sure put me in jail.
I'll put money on your commissary.
They'll
and
be like, we
everything.
gotta put this guy in jail. He's tearing stuff up.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine that's claiming he's going to run for president. I think I'm going to invite him to come on.
Who?
Well, I'm not going to say his name.
Oh, you got a guy who wants to run for president?
Yeah, I'm not going to say his name until I have permission to say it. But
That's cool.
he's a really good friend of mine. He's a smart guy.
Hey.
But,
I'd be running mate.
I told him I want to be the ambassador in New Zealand. I want the cushy job in a nice place. I'll be a great ambassador. I'll talk to everybody over
You be an ambassador.
Do a lot of
You
coffee.
can't even run that laptop. How you gonna be an ambassador?
Well, I'm an ambassador. I could pay somebody to run my laptop.
Oh, well, yeah.
I got all that tax money. So.
Yeah. When you're an ambassador, when you're for government, you just hire people to do. Well, that's how it kind of works because everybody that's a politician, they don't know how to do shit. They just hire people to do it. They don't know what they're talking about. Everybody else does everything, and they just stand up there like they're the king.
The more research I do, the
And
more
they're
I'm
dumber
getting
than
into
hell. So you got all the qualifications of being a politician.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I don't even have
So
a
do
felony.
I. Except we got common sense.
Yeah.
We got one whack against us that they don't have.
That might be a problem. I'll
Well-
pretend I don't.
What do you think, Ed? We'll call it a night.
Yeah, we'll call it a night, and we'll be back Friday. I know
Don't
it's sad.
forget DHS,
We're
Supreme
actually-
Court Justices.
And Bernie Marino.
Well, we got a new set tonight. Tell us what you think of it. We got some new flags. We got some stuff going on. I'm remodeling the shop that we do our thing in. Got to get ready for winter, you know.
Yeah, might be a good one.
We won't be out here Alaska Park is doing our podcast in 20 below weather, freezing our ass off.
I don't want to do that either. All right. Well, anyway, till then, I'm Little Ed,
I'm Dr. John.
and this is enough
Enough already.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching. See the picture?
Reaching for the sky.